Hello and welcome back. This is my 12-month update of my YouTube journey, and I am so glad to be here. Guys, this past year has been crazy. I've had all the ups and downs one can have, and I feel like my soul has expanded immensely. I traveled the world, I gained new friends, I got a new job, and I'm actually moving again in a month. So, a lot of changes all the time. So, this is actually my second video reflecting on my YouTube journey. I made part one in March. You can clearly see how uncomfortable I was in front of the camera back then. I was just like struggling even with the eye contact. My voice was really monotonous, and just my overall body language was not giving at all. It's just crazy to see the progress I made in like 10 months. And yeah, I'm really proud of myself. I remember when I was around the age of 12, 13, we used to make these small films with my cousins, and it was so much fun. We actually rewatched them a while ago, and I was the person filming and editing as well, if I remember correctly. So, this is not really a new hobby or interest of mine. I actually did it a lot when I was younger, but then I think I was maybe 15, 14. I kind of forgot that this was my hobby. And I know that school kind of just like took over a lot of my mental space and capacity, so I wasn't thinking so much about what was fun, and also just like the teenage years are a mess. Do you know that feeling of like actually forgetting what you used to do when you were younger? I forgot that I liked filmmaking and editing, but I remembered like 2 years ago, and now we're here. So when I created the channel, like actually went and made the account, I wrote down a little kind of like a purpose statement in my Notion notes. In that little text, I wrote that the reason or the purpose of why I'm doing this is because I have a passion for writing and reflecting on life's ups and downs, and I want to create some kind of art and just like express myself. For a long time, I used to write texts that I posted on Instagram, and those are the ones that I'm using now for voiceovers for my videos. So, in a way, this has been in the making for a long time. Something that I was struggling with a lot in the beginning was getting used to the way I look, because an average human being doesn't necessarily observe herself or himself on an everyday basis. I mean, I certainly didn't. And just seeing how I move when I speak, for example, I was appalled. I thought I was ugly, but then I realized that I'm just considering myself ugly because I'm not used to it. I don't know if that makes any sense. I think there was kind of like a cognitive dissonance of how I had imagined myself looking, and then when I actually saw the reality, I was like, what the hell? Who is this person? It was almost like I couldn't recognize my own face. I don't know if anybody else has experienced this. It has kind of passed now. It was mostly in the first few videos, but yeah, it took some time to get used to that. And through that kind of process, I learned that some of the things that was annoying to me in the way I looked, I could actually change. So, for example, that I didn't look especially happy or engaged in some of my first videos. I think it was mainly because I was so uncomfortable and kind of getting shy. But I realized that I could change those things. They were actually in my power to do something about. And I think it's a lot better now. You're getting a lot more of my authentic self now than 10 months or 12 months ago. In the beginning of this journey, I watched a lot of videos from experienced YouTubers giving advice on how to go about, creating a channel, what type of videos to make, how to find your niche, all that kind of stuff. And I noticed that a lot of them gave the advice to make videos or content that your audience enjoys. I 100% get this if the purpose of you making YouTube is to have a business and you only see it in a commercial way. But to me, and I think to a lot of other people, this is art. This is our way of expressing ourselves. And if you fall into the trap of only making things that other people will enjoy, you will lose your light. It won't be 100% genuine and authentic because you're not making it even a little bit for yourself. And I know there are a lot of discussions online about making content versus creating art or like being an artist. They definitely overlap in some sense, but at the same time, a content creator is driven by mostly like business purposes, and somebody who's an artist is driven by pure passion. Like that person just enjoys the editing, thinking about the different shots, the different colors. To me, it doesn't really make sense. That's why I started off this video also by telling you what my purpose was with doing this. I want to express myself. I want to make art. The financial aspects of it is just secondary. I can see how some people that initially are driven by art as purpose fall into or progress into more commercialized forms of video making. I'm not judging anyone. I'm just saying that don't let that happen to you, because your expression is important and your art is supposed to be out in the world. Which actually brings me to my second point. I touched upon this in my first video as well, that there is a pressure to say something original in every video and come up with ideas that have not been thought about before. To me, making any kind of art is a way to embody the expression of life, the way you're living your life. We are first and foremost human, so you showing up with your art, sharing it with other people, is a way for you to embody the ways in which we are all similar, reminding us that we actually have more in common than we might think. We share a lot of the human struggles, regardless of where in the world we live. And I know I also fell into the darkness of self-doubt at times, devaluing or diminishing the importance of my own voice. And I had to remind myself that each and every one of us has a voice and it's important. And some of us have this urge to share it with the rest of the world. And I think that's magical and wonderful, and you should definitely listen to it. In those times, I had to ground myself in the fact that I am doing this for me, and I don't have to compare myself to the rest of the world, because it's so easy to, when you enjoy watching YouTube in your free time as well, to only watch people who are extremely talented and have been doing YouTube for years, and then suddenly you're comparing yourself to those people, and you kind of lose your drive at times because you're like, who the hell do I think I am? Once again, everyone has an offering to make to this world. I like to think about it that way, that we're all offering something. You should share what you're thinking and feeling with the rest of the world if that's what you wish. Making videos has become my practice for accepting myself, accepting all the different parts of myself. In a way, it's a form of radical self-love. Because as I said, you're showing up in front of potentially millions of people just as you are, as a beginner, being lost, not knowing what or how to develop your skills. I've received so much positive feedback from you guys and also people that I've known my whole life, which is, I'm so thankful. And it makes me especially happy when people come up to me in real life and tell me how touched they were by a video. That means everything to me. So I'm very happy to continue this journey into the next year, and I hope you will be joining me.